Good afternoon. Welcome to the 1873 TV. I'm joined by Mr. Mushana Murefu. This is the 1873 Election Monitor Zim 2018. As you know as you may know, 2018 is an election year for Zimbabwe. And we are discussing this issue because it is important that people learn from it and know what to think, what to anticipate, not hallucinate and speculate and even become suspicious, superstitious. Actually, this is your voice. And good afternoon, Mr. Mushana Murefu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moyed.
How are you doing? You seem energized to think, imagine, hallucinate about 2018 Zimbabwe. Why is...
You're right, everything is happening, isn't it? We are so hyped up. Some of us are hallucinating 24/7.
Okay.
And I think there is a need for us to hone in those hallucinations.
Okay.
And try and bring some sort of reality.
Okay.
And I think there is a need.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what we find is we've got a lot of promises, a lot of information that is being shared on different platforms. But I think what is important for us is to check these things and see whether they are realistic and see whether they are truthful or it's just a matter of just people saying things in order for them to lure voters to vote for them.
Okay. So if you look at 2018, what do you think are the major surprises that may come along?
I think the first major surprise that will come along is this idea that we have seen in different platforms of youth who believe that they are the ones that will decide the outcome of the election.
Okay.
And the drive has been that the youth want a change. And the youth want a change in which they themselves want to see the leadership of the country being spearheaded by someone who's youthful. Now, what I find very interesting is the surprises that you're talking about is that those youth that we see on these platforms don't take into account what the proportions are of them in terms of the number of people who have been registered to vote.
Yeah.
So these youth that we see on platforms are mostly urban youth.
Mm.
And now, as you may or may not know, the number of registered voters, youth and adults in Zimbabwe, are about 5.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the numbers that we expect to decide the elections. 5.2 million people in Zimbabwe out of a population of about what, 13, 14 million?
Yeah.
So it's quite a small number. But it is what it is. These are people who are going to make that decision for us.
Okay.
Now, the youth component, if we are looking at youth as defined by Zimbabweans, those who are between 18 and I would be generous and put them up to 44 years old, they actually make up 67% of the chunk that is going to vote during this 2018 election. So in other words, I'm saying about 3.5 billion people who are going to be voting in the elections are young people aged between 18 to 44 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it is true that youth are going to decide this election. But which youth?
Mm-hmm.
This is where the separate come in. Which youth are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Are these the same youth we see on Facebook, Twitter, the same youth we see chanting that Tabisa Chete or Elders got my votes. Are these the youth that make up the 3.5 million? Actually, the interesting bit is this. The biggest proportion of youth that actually will decide the election are the rural youth. If we are looking at that 5.2 million that we are talking about, they make up 62% of that chunk. So what I'm saying is 2.2 million rural youth are the ones that have the deciding vote.
Okay, so your message is that the youth, which youth will be determining the future of Zimbabwe, and whether the youth exists as an informative group, or the youth does not exist.
The youth does exist in the way they are defined in Zimbabwe, but what I'm saying is definitely 1.3 million youth who are urban youth are the ones that we see prancing and parading.
No, I'm just trying to spice it up to say we have to decide whether the youth exist as a body that can be predicted in terms of how they will vote, or how they think and how they act. There is one position which says they do exist. There's another position which says they can never exist, because each individual is a sovereign human being capable of making his or her own choice. So there can never be a justification for any one of us to pretend to know what two minds think and how they can act.
I think you have raised an important point there, and I'm of the view that they exist.
Okay, I think that's one view.
Yeah, so let me support my view. So when we look at the behavior of these people within that demography, we have all been shocked, right? And we take ZANU-PF as an example. When Mugabe was still in power, this group of people would chant, Kushumbo chete chete, Kushumbo, even if he dies, Kushumbo will still...
Yeah, but I think you are now going into another subject. Oh, we wanted...
No. I want to talk about, I want to answer the question that you, because you want to...
No, I'm just asking for the sake of asking, but your view has already been taken note of for this portion of the conversation, that in your view, the youth exist as a body that one can extrapolate from based on historical information.
Yeah, like zombies, they just walk in one direction.
Yeah, I think that's what you are saying. So I think that's a view that you take, and I was just proffering an alternative view that human beings by nature, whether young or old, they do exist as sovereign human beings, complete, no fraction of a human being. If you are allowed to vote, you think on your own, you make your own choice, you don't make a choice based on a group. So that is one alternative view. So all I'm saying is let's understand out there that when we are talking about 2018, there could be surprises where some of the youth are not convinced that there is a youthful solution platform. They are convinced that people with experience, with knowledge, who have been in government for too long, actually have a better claim on representation in government. there are different views. It's not easy to come up with the same view. If I was to look at elections in 2018, and I'm where I am today, and then you have 107 parties that have been registered according to ZEC, and each one of these contenders actually has no confidence that the other one will be a better representative in government of the people of Zimbabwe. So they don't trust each other, 107 of them with their supporters. They all think that they are better claimants to your power. And the issue is, what am I supposed to do? And I wanted just to get some of the things that I shared with Chamisa yesterday, where he was also giving me his perspective on what happens and what you would expect from us. And if you are interested in listening to it, I can share it so that we can analyze what he is saying and be able to put a tooth comb on what, if he were to be president, what does he expect of us? And what do we expect of him and his other actors? So let me just check whether. Okay, sorry, it's
I don't know. I wouldn't want to second guess them, but all I know is that they didn't want me as a person, and up to now they don't want me. But I don't need to be wanted by them, because I don't belong to their party. I belong to the MDC, and all I need is to have the endorsement of my party. I am glad that that endorsement is come, resoundingly high in terms of all the organs up to the lowest level. Districts, provinces, or what? Why even talks? Issue is not to say structure, like saying what talk or what some other. It is here who is saying I also want. Now, in political organizations such as ours, which is a mass organization, you must be backed by structure. You must be backed by people. You can't back yourself. This is not a chieftain's,
So that's Chamisa. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, he's talking about the leadership.
Yeah.
The contest or leadership wrangle in their party.
That's right.
Number three is mobilize the post-Zimbabwe reconstruction thing. I know that it has been doing a couple of things, but I think it's not that it's right. There must be a framework of engagement, of investment, of business, of capital. The rules of engagement, so that we put in place irrevocable and irreversible statements, commitment, but also actions of commitment of the Bible, the firm part to open the business.
Okay. Do you have any comment there?
Well, that is, there are so many ways you can kill a cat, isn't it? He's just maybe perhaps telling us another way that he thinks you can skin it.
Yeah. So what he's talking about post-election, in which yes, presumably he will be the leader. So
yeah, but this is what I'm asking. If we go back to what we are talking about, is what we are saying is when somebody assumes or presumes that he's going to be the next leader of Zimbabwe, there is going to be some sort of evidence that is giving him that kind of view.
Yeah, but he may be saying that he knows what is on the ground, and he is.
But the reality is that MDC traditionally has won urban seats.
Okay.
These urban seats, they are being represented by 1.3 million youth. That's the point I was making.
Okay.
Now, out of those 1.3 million youth, you also know that there are some ZANU-PF youth in there.
Okay.
We also have new parties that have also appealed to these young people.
Yeah.
So that 1.3 figure is going to be split.
Yeah.
When we look at the rural seats, they have traditionally gone to ZANU-PF. And this is where we are seeing the big chunk of 2.2 million youth residing.
Okay.
So I tend to wonder what evidence gives him that confidence for him to think he is going to win the election.
But can you start a journey without actually anticipating to arrive at point B?
No, but you have to be realistic, you see, in your arrival. You have to know that I'm starting this journey, the realistic way of looking at it is that this might take me a week, or it might take me a month. Now, if the journey is that long, and you say to people, I will arrive in 30 minutes, then there's a problem.
Okay, so we are looking at 2018. We are also learning from what Chamisa's worldview is and what he thinks ought to be done. And let me play another one.
It is the question of being the ambassador, intellectual thought processes, the thought pattern, craft competence, craft literacy. People listen to you because you are an accomplished, not just an academic, but also a citizen of Africa. So you could also use that to build a narrative, to frame a particular trajectory which people can connect to and with, because that is what we want to do. Africa can only be Africa if countries like Zimbabwe, with our intellect, with our very strong educational background, are able to take the lead to lead other countries, but also to lead the continent in reconstruction, in transformation, in building opportunities, in articulating the prosperity narrative, all those things. So that's the second one.
Okay, what do you think?
So I heard what you were saying, but I don't know what the context was.
Yeah.
What was the context?
I think the context is what can be done by people like you. People like me.
We should play our part, which is what we are doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have different talents.
Yeah.
We have different access to things. Yeah. So if we all understand that whatever we are doing is for the development of our nation, it's for the development of our continent, then we will go a long way. It's not just enough to just look at government and think government will provide or do everything for us.
Yeah.
Government is just there to run, to administer, making sure that things are running smoothly. There's law and order in the country, and services are being provided that needs to be provided, shared services, and the rest is up to us. We are the ones that make up the wealth of the country by bringing in these ideas.
So I think what he's saying is he is open, his ears are open, and if you have any suggestions, things he overlooks, because he is on a journey to somewhere. He's saying, I'm available. And if you guys can be ambassadors, I have not won yet, and but I can only win if you want me to win. That's what I hear him to be saying.
Yeah, and I think it's a very noble way of it's a good approach, right?
Yeah.
And if they need it, Because this is the very same message that you hear the president of Zimbabwe saying.
Yeah.
And some of these ministers.
Yeah.
And what do we hear afterwards? There's no access to them. We try to get hold of them, they are not available.
Yeah, I think we are saying that if we need the Chamisa to be on air, let's request it so that you get raising issues that he appears to be overconfident. Yeah, is that your is that your reading?
Yes, I think we should invite him, and I think it's a good thing.
Okay, so what message would you want him to internalize before this interview? Yeah, what message would you want to internalize?
Well, the message that I would want to share with them is that they should look at their numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So that they can direct their resources to the right places.
Yeah.
So that they can target the right people.
Yeah.
If they are at all going to make a dent in this election.
Okay.
Otherwise, things stand. Right? It's all an illusion. They are fooling themselves.
Okay, so you are saying be cautious. Understand the demographics.
Yes, be informed by the reality out there, the figures. They will tell you where the people are who matter, the people who are actually going to vote.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your view. And then let me play another portion.
You have networks, you have connection. Your connection is definitely out of your collection, which you have. Your network is your network. We count on that. The region, we count on that in South Africa. Send the message, populate the idea, the big idea, which is the idea of democracy, the idea of civilian politics, the idea of people deciding the fate of their destiny. That idea must be understood. The African idea of moving from military politics to politics, respecting, honoring them. That's what must be, going for. And I hope that whoever is willing to listen to.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So,
which is just basically not saying much.
Okay. What do you make of it?
Well, it's just saying, people are connected, people are networked. So
yeah.
Those things are made by you as individuals. And that's just that.
No, that you can use your networks for good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but what we are not hearing is, for me, maybe you'll get to that. I'm not interested in him telling us what we can do to network and how we can use our networks. What we're interested in him telling us is what things can he put in place that can help us, people who want to go and do things in the Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
If I want to get into education and I'm failing, what are you going to put in place? Policies. That's what we want to hear. We want to be able to talk to him about policies that he would want to bring in. Things that we can help. Not what he's talking about. Seriously, that doesn't help us in any way. What we're interested in is him telling us, you know what, this is how I'm going to create jobs. Then we can question him on that and say, listen, you are saying you're going to do this. How are you going to overcome this situation and that situation?
Yeah. So that's the I think nobody knows what is someone thinking, even a group of people thinking. So we can't pretend to know.
No, but you can tell us your policies.
Yeah.
Yeah. What MPC, what are your policies?
Yeah.
Tell us. These are my policies. These are the things, that I intend to do when I get into power. If I get into power.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Why would I want to vote you in? I'm not voting you because of your age group.
No, I'm saying, do you
I'm
get
not going to vote you in because of where you come from. I want to vote you in because you've got something to offer me as an individual. Yeah. If you've got something to offer me as an individual, I will think about it and say, I think this one is talking sense. This will help me, so I'll vote for you.
So you are looking for someone who can talk sense.
I'm looking for someone who can tell us things that are realistic.
But they are just representatives of you.
Yeah. So if you can tell me, if you can identify with my problems, right?
No, how can you expect Chamisa to identify with your problems when you don't speak out, use your voice?
My problems are universal. They're out there.
No, how does he know what you think unless you do the thinking yourself?
Let me tell you something. No man is an island. Yeah?
Yeah.
The same token. Us as individuals, our problems are similar.
No, you can't generalize people. Why can't you are you? I am me. Why are you trying to generalize people and say these people think like one group?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you are in medicine,
yeah,
what you do is when you look at problems that the society, if you're looking at epidemiology, the problems that society face health-wise, you categorize those problems, those diseases. And when you look for cure, you develop cures that are universal.
No, that's not...
Cure. Let me finish. You don't develop a cure that is personalized. Okay? It's unrealistic, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So you develop a universal cure, which you then put on the market. Where, you know, if people have malaria, anyone who's got malaria, if they buy those tablets, they will be healed.
Yeah.
So this is the same approach I'm talking about. When you are looking at problems that people face in a country, yes, there are so many individual problems, but you can categorize them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that the solution will not only benefit one individual, but it will benefit the majority of people in that country.
Okay.
These are the things you prioritize.
Yeah. Okay. So you think that people can be categorized and pigeonholed?
I said people's problems can be categorized.
Yeah, those are problems. But I mean, how am I going to know what you are thinking? Or even
I don't need to know what you are thinking. I said the problems that society faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can be categorized and pigeonholed. I don't care about individual issues. There are so many of them.
Yeah.
There are so many reasons why they're like that.
Yeah.
My concern is a lot of people are not employed. A lot of youth are leaving universities and they are not employed. Amongst those, those that don't want to look for work. Amongst those are going to be those that have not passed very well. Amongst those are going to be some who have passed very well but are looking and can't find jobs. Okay. My concern is not looking at them individually. My concern is saying, listen, I need to create job opportunities. Whether it's going to be competition for them to get those jobs, that's another issue. But as long as those opportunities for employment are available, I know I would have done my job. So I categorize them. Unemployment is the category that affects a lot of people in society. And the reasons for unemployment will vary.
Okay. So I think if you are listening out there, there is an issue. I think it's not just Mushana who has authored it. It's a universal truism that we expect people to fit into a generalized pattern of thinking, sometimes without even taking cognizance of the alternative view that human beings are what they are. And if we have human actors, and human actors are capable of thinking originally, it means they can add their voice. They can use their voice for change. They can inform, they can interrogate, they can even do the impossible out of their own thoughts. Some would expect a person who is a so-called leader to know everything and then to give direction. But as George Washington said, I walk on untrodden ground, meaning that actually there is no one that knows what tomorrow brings. All we can do is open ourselves up, which is what Chamisa seems to be saying. I don't know. You guys are the ambassadors of Zimbabwe, wherever you are. Talk to us. Give us direction of the things that you think ought to be done. Use your networks, not to talk about things that have happened, but the things that you can do something about, so that the change you desire can be effected by the people on the ground with your knowledge, your resources, so that together we can bring the Zimbabwe down to see. There are two narratives, that's what you are saying. One narrative says the military have a proprietary interest in ensuring the direction where Zimbabwe and its people ought to go. There's another narrative which says if you are a war vet, you have a permanent IP to be able to direct where the country ought to go. Yet there's another narrative which says this is the time for the youth. It is time that the opportunities that were denied to an entire generation by one person who stood up every time there was an election. And his argument was, until the people of Zimbabwe say no, I'll continue to make myself available, obviously oblivious to the impact of a generation that actually doesn't even know what it means to be a statecraft operator. This is where we are. Imagine a 38-year-old, no memory of any other president or prime minister than this individual called Mugabe. Even after the 37 years, Mugabe is saying, no, I'm not done yet. I want to be able to add my voice to the future of Zimbabwe. So it's not at all clear. The question that we can ask Chamisa, but it will not be, it will be futile. He has offered himself to be a candidate. Not that you win, but if you believe that there is need to break with the past, where people believe that if they are anointed, they are better statecraftsmen than you and me, simply because they went to the struggle and they fought for you, they have better solutions than you can ever come up with. Then this is your opportunity to express. If you want us to bring Chamisa on this platform, let's talk to him. Let's tell him what we want him to know. Because we are free people. Sometimes we don't have this disability that they have. We can say whatever we want, sometimes without consequences. So this is the challenge that we face. So, Mushana, this is the challenge that is there. Remember, a few weeks ago, we said Chamisa didn't want to talk to us, and he had it. And I spoke to him yesterday, trying to also understand his worldview and what is it that he thinks ought to be done, and by who and when.
I certainly appreciate, and you know what, I commend him for speaking to you. I appreciate it is also unrealistic that a leader of an opposition party or any other leader can speak to every other person who wants to talk to them or who've got questions. I appreciate that is unrealistic, right? But at least what we are interested in is for them to try and engage us on. Remember, we are going back again to that concept I told you. You can categorize people. So if he goes to platforms where most people are available, then he can engage with those people. Those people will certainly ask certain questions that will be similar to what I would have wanted to ask him. And I would learn from that. So the whole idea here, Juba, is this. I will certainly vote for ZANU-PF if ZANU-PF is the one party that is going to tell me that it will put in place things that will change my situation. I will certainly vote for MDC if MDC is going to be that party that is going to tell me that they will implement those things that I expect. So what I'm saying to people out there is when you're making choices, don't make a choice just because it is this party. Make a choice by finding out what they are going to provide you as an individual in their plan to run the country. What is it that they will offer you? That should be what decides who you vote for.
Okay.
So currently we've got a situation where people, despite the things that, whether those things that they want or that are helpful in their lives are being provided by ZANU-PF, they will not vote ZANU-PF because they are just MDC. And yet MDC, on the other hand, might not be providing them the things that they want, which is ridiculous.
So what what are you saying, that MDC is a living creature, or you want to make it a living creature?
MDC, ZANU-PF are organizations that put together things that they think people want.
And I think that's where the departure point is. You believe that MDC is a living thing.
Well, if you don't know that MDC is a party, then I don't know.
No, MDC is individuals like you and me.
So I am saying to you, this is the kind of problem that you will face. You should be a member of MDC because their policies, the things that they talk about, you identify with them. They help you in your life. No,
I'm saying the MDC has nothing to offer except the membership. It's like a college. That's what I think the discussion that I had with Chamisha. That you don't have to be a member of the MDC.
Oh, so now you understand my point.
What?
So that's why I'm saying, if you understand that point,
yeah,
and you agree with that point, then you realize that when it comes to elections, when you decide who to vote for, you are voting for that individual, that organization that is promising to provide you with those things that you want. The
okay.
that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do not be bogged down by saying I am MDC.
No, but that's what he's saying. He's saying, okay, tell us what should be the issues. That should form the basis of the change that you want to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is it that you want us to do?
Yeah. So I agree with that view. That is what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes out there, he talks to people, and he says to people, tell us.
But that's what he has asked. He says, look, please use your networks to give us on the ground what is it that we need to do. We don't have all the solutions. But
to me, that's nonsense. You can't be saying that during election time now.
No, until he can't.
At what point are we going to know
He can't. He has given the broader picture. That's what he was talking about. Good afternoon, Philip. We have another. How are you? Yeah.
I'm alright, Daddy. How are you?
Excellent.
Right, Mr. Mawele. Yeah, it's your little boy, Philip. Listen, Mr. Mawele, I think it's high time we get proper journalist who can ask Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa and Chamisa to do a head-to-head debate. Do you understand what I mean by head-to-head debate?
Okay.
Head-to-head debate is whereby they come in the same studio, same time people they are invited to come and ask questions. What are you going to offer Mr. Mnangagwa when you come into power? What are you going to offer Mr. Chamisa when you come into power? Free and fair debate whereby people they express their, so that when I vote for Mr. Mawele, I vote for Mr. Mawele's policies. I don't just vote Mr. Mawele because he's
I thought you were going to say you vote for Mr. Mawele's debating strategy, but.
Do you understand what I mean, Mr. Mawele?
I don't understand because debating has nothing to. Let's go to civics literacy, Philip. Tell us that there are duties and rights, and rights of citizenship. That you and I have our own duty. We must discharge. What kind of Zimbabwe do you want? Where a president tells you, or where you tell him what time it is?
I want a Zimbabwe where I want a Zimbabwe where I tell the president what I want. But remember, what I tell you is not exactly what I will get.
Yeah. No.
You cannot get everything what you want. But I want a country whereby if I tell my leaders, remember, I don't see my leaders. I see my MPs. My MPs, they report to the president. So I want a country whereby if I go and make a report to my MP or my councillor, he reports, and that's what I want. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm saying is that is the kind of thing that if you want a country in which your voice matters, then use your voice for change.
Unfortunately, the line is very bad. Let me try and move your election with maybe proper. The line is a bit. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, I understand your topic and I understand that, gentleman, because what
I'm saying is we have two views. There is Mushana Murefu. I don't know the Mushana. You hear what?
Yes, Philip is another point.
Yeah, but Philip appears to be on your side of the divide.
Philip is supporting the idea that we should vote these gentlemen based on the policies that they want to introduce, in the nation, and those policies should be those things that are helpful to us as citizens.
That's right. So this is the kind of thing that we are saying, let's begin to talk among ourselves. We don't need a president to be on air and telling us what we should be doing. We must be able to formulate the thing.
Mr. Mawele.
Yeah.
Mr. Mawele. All these things, do you know why people so the problem is people that don't get fair airplay. They don't get fair.
No, which people right now say, Philip, you are talking to the world. Talk to the world. Don't talk on behalf of these ghosts. No, we can hear you. Philip, we can hear you.
Yes. You see what I'm saying is, yes. When I'm talking about the people, I'm talking every majority.
No, please, Philip, you are a complete person.
Yes.
You are a complete person.
Yes.
Let's not use this platform to talk about ghosts.
Yes.
You are talking about people we don't know. Talk about what is it that you want to happen. Surely, do you expect that a president must know everything?
A president, he cannot know everything, but he must know almost everything, what people want, what I want.
How does a human being like you and me of flesh, sinners like you and me, get to know all the sins that are possible in a country?
Philip, don't answer that one. I think what we can do is, Mawere, you tell us what the alternative is.
Yeah, the alternative is us for the alternative is for us to also understand what is government, what is the president. Then once we understand, we have a shared understanding, we'll be able to assign roles and say, who among us can do this? All I've heard from Chamisa is, please tell us, can you use your network to have this conversation? That's why I didn't invite him. I said, okay. I've answered the question, but I'm not.
I'm saying if we have told ourselves and have understood that, okay, this is what needs to happen, and then what happens to the end?
Yeah, then we must be the agents of change ourselves. If we,
I would then change the policy in customs.
No, yeah, we tell that we don't want this and things must change. Already things.
What people do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is you become an active citizen.
Yeah, but we already do that through our parliamentarians.
You may discover.
The issue of SMM.
Yeah.
Let's look at the issue of SMM.
Yeah.
How many times was it presented in Parliament?
But if there's no agency, you can now say no. But Mushana, if you want the issue of SMM to be on the table, we can put it in. There's no one who stops us. Because Parliament, they have their own.
The point I'm making is we have debated this issue several times. They come to a point where we now need things to move forward legally, right?
Yeah.
And it's being presented in Parliament, which is what you have said.
Yeah.
Right? So that process is working. So there is a process. Whether our parliamentarians are competent or not, this brings us back to the elections where we are saying don't judge.
Okay, I think let's have Sibanda as well so that we get his input. Yeah.
Can I ask my honorable dad, my only Mr. Mawere? Mr. Mawere, what yourself, now I'm giving you back the question you asked me, what type of a leader do you want yourself? Hey, do you listen to the campaigns of the leader? Do you listen to what he says? Or you just...
Yeah, you have asked me a question, I think, and I think it's a good question. I think you have asked a relevant question, and it's a good question. I want a human being like me, a mortal human being, a fallible human being, who can say there are things I don't know, and I'm happy not knowing them. That the country belongs to the people, that all power is by nature vested in the individuals whose thinking, whose thought leadership is their own domain. I want citizens that can tell me what time it is. If it's time to pick up the garbage, they must pick it up. They are the citizens, they are the owners of the future. It is their decision that build the future that I want to see. I want people who know what the limits of the public square is. I want people who know what public funds are and what they are not. It's like Philip, you look at the issue of Mugabe receiving an allowance of 20,000. That's in cash. His wife doesn't work for the government, receives cash as well as an allowance. What are the critical questions that arise from there? That President Mugabe was given a bribe by his own people in government. But where did the bribe come from? From the citizens. He is paid a salary that is known to Parliament. Then behind the scenes, somebody creates a new reality that says 20,000 a month is enough for the president. And that is the kind of future that I don't want to see. So if we have a conversation on, yeah, then tomorrow, yeah, then imagine I die today, and then the government said they're going to pay for my funeral expenses, and there's no transparency as to how these decisions are made. I would want to know that public funds are spent.
I have understood that.
Okay. So if you have understood it, then we are getting somewhere.
But before this Mawere, before you vote for a leader, do you listen to?
I don't vote for a leader. I am not that naive to vote for human beings, because I've just told you that if I want, I don't trust any man with power. Zero. Yeah.
So you're anti-elections then?
No, I'm for elections, but I'm for vigilance.
So when you say you're for elections, then you are.
Yeah, I elect you, but I will keep on distrusting you until you get out of office.
So how do you elect them?
I elect them so that I distrust them and supervise them.
No, how do you elect them?
Yeah, but that's what we're exposing.
But you just said you don't vote.
No, I said I vote. I said I don't trust any man who purports to.
Okay, Mr. Mawere, sorry, Mr. Mawere, you're the ongoing. When you say, okay, you elected, you voted, okay, do you listen to one candidate and listen to another, or listen to another?
I don't even want to hear what I would rather elect a dumb person who can't even say anything.
Let me listen to your forum. Because at the end of the day, let me listen to your forum. But to be honest, Mr. Mawere, now is the time for black people to. You say you have got a forum, Mr. Mawere, now, which we are enjoying, we are learning. You should be inviting it doesn't matter whether it's political or whatever.
No, but that's what we are saying. I don't listen to me. Read my lips. I don't trust any man with power.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
I enjoy this, but I like this guy who is on the phone. He's a very, very intelligent young man who I need.
No, he may not be young. Don't reduce his. Don't age his views. He's just a wise man.
Thank you so much.
All right.
There's nothing intelligent or wise about these issues. We are sharing.
That's right. But he wants you to be young so that he can contextualize your views. So that's the tragedy of being alive.
Yeah, but so I mean the issue that I think what people need to be thinking about, what Chamisa is talking about, I think he's got his heart is on the right thing there, but unfortunately I think it's too late for him to be saying that to people. These are things that they should have collected, information they should have collected a long time ago. Now they should be telling us that from what you were saying, this is what we want to provide. We've prioritized our list. This is what we will do when we get into government. We are going to deal with this and this and that.
Okay.
Not to now during the election time. We are saying to people, tell us what you want.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the time for that.
Yeah.
The other thing, please, people, let's say these things are available for everyone. Go to the ZEC website. If you don't believe my numbers, then look at the information yourselves. You will realize that until people go out there in the rural areas and command a good number of gatherings, there is no hope for the opposition in Zimbabwe. Then one day after the elections, we'll come back to this platform and we'll do a review and we'll talk about these things.
Yeah.
Let's manage our expectations.
Okay. I think you've summed it. And this is the kind of conversations we're trying to encourage, to ignite and to inspire, to catalyze, so that you alone can use your inherent voice, inherent power to reason, inherent power of free will, to be able to add your insights, your experiences, your anger, your confusion, whatever may visit your mind, so that together we can be able to unplug where the loose ends are. I just tweeted this quote, and it's a very apt quote. To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. And this is a famous quote. How many of us?
That dead corpse. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
Another thing, you know what? Don't be bogged down by party politics. If ZANU-PF is providing all those things that you want, vote for it.
And I'm saying that don't vote for ZANU-PF. That's where we need. When we come back, Mushana, let's talk about the existence of ZANU-PF and what are you voting for or against. Let us have a discussion on this issue, because it's so vital, Mushana, that sometimes I'm not hearing you and you are hearing the opposite of what I'm saying. Let's find each other.
You see, unlike you, me, I don't have a side.
You already are giving me a side, which is very dangerous. That vote for ZANU-PF or you must vote for this or that.
Yeah, if you had listened to what I was saying, if I had finished,
okay.
I say if ZANU-PF is providing the things that work for you in your life,
but ZANU-PF cannot provide.
Wait. If MDC is the one that is bringing you that promise in your life, then vote for MDC.
Okay.
Even if you are ZANU-PF and the promises of those things that you want in your life are being provided by MDC, vote for MDC.
But you are refusing. You are refusing to understand a departure point that we need to find each other. I am saying that a body corporate like ZANU-PF MDC has nothing to promise to the living. Zero.
It is the vehicle that will.
Yeah, so let's go to the characters that are there. Are they people you can trust?
Yeah, but this is what I am talking about.
No, let's talk about the individuals.
Are we talking about it now?
No, I'm saying is we will come back to this show to talk about this issue, and so that we understand, you understand where I'm coming from, I understand where you are coming from.
That is very good.
Yeah. So thank you very much if you have listened to this, if you have watched it, and if you have not, you still haven't lost anything, because there is a podcast. You go to either my page or go to the 1873 TV, the 1873 FM, you'll find it there. So please search for it, find it, and let us find each other. Let's not talk at each other, let's talk to each other. Already I see Mushana as an adversary in the battle of ideas, so that he can present his side, I present my side. Whether this actor, this animal called ZANU-PF exists in reality, if so, can I vote for it? If I vote for it, what am I voting for? And am I setting up myself for failure? Those are the questions that come up, and those are the questions that you can start answering yourself before we come back. Let's dig deeper. Let's broaden and deepen our understanding. The future belongs to those who act.
The world is wondering, what happened to your head?
Hey, I got a ball. It's painful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But some people were speculating, thinking that somebody got hit by no carry.
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.